Okay, Anichka has faster than me. Great. Please go ahead.
Okay, now, okay. Next one, please. Hello, my name is Matjaz Ferjancic. I am coming from Slovenia, and I will say a few words about Slovenian experience on prevention of light pollution. Slovenia is probably one of the first countries that adopted legislation on its national level regarding the light pollution of environment. The decree was issued 14 years ago in 2007, and after that it was amended a few times. You can see you can take the consolidated text on the attached link below, and the main issues about the decree were that in 2007 we already prohibited the lamps luminous flux above the horizontal level. The decree put some target value for annual electricity consumptions for lighting of roads and public areas with the number of 44.5 kilowatts per municipality resident. It means it also take account the size of the municipality. For the small municipality where there are less than 1,000 residents, the target value was a bit different. We also put the limit values regarding the power per square meters for illumination of uncovered surfaces next to production facilities, office buildings, institutions, etc. That is like a parking, uncovered parking lots, and maybe some production area that are outside the buildings, like some trucks area and so on. We also put some limitations for advertising boards. This limit value depends on the advertising boards. For the larger boards, the limit value was 17 watts per square meters of the lamp set, and for smaller was 80 watts per meters. And next to that, exterior luminaries shall be switched off at the late night hours for the boards exceeding 20 square meters. For interior luminaries, this limit value was not prescribed because they need some, the advertising boards cannot, like LCD, etc., that kind of stuff cannot operate without lighting. We also put limit value on the average luminance of facade surfaces of the buildings and the cultural monuments. And then, maybe the most important is the residence windows illumination. It was back in 2007. It was prescribed by 0.2 up to 25 lux based on the window distance from the light source and the night hours. Late night hours was reduced. Late night hours were from midnight till sunset, and this limit value was later changed. It these days does not based on the windows distance from the light source, but on the environmental area, like big cities, crowded cities, the limit value is higher than on the small cities, villages, or even the natural area, when it is almost next to zero or maybe 2 lux on the windows. All the sources of the lamps shall be adapted before December 2016. That was part of the transitional provisions of the decree. Next one. Thanks. Next to that, the illuminants that exceed 10 kilowatts of total lamps electric power, the operator of that illumination shall have the light plan. The contents of the light plan, which shall be public available, consist of number and the nominal electric power of the lamps, exact locations of the lamps, annual energy consumptions, and some information about the length of the roads and the area of the illuminated surfaces, and also the information about the lamps with light flux about the horizontal level and the action plan, which time to reduce the number of those improper lights. Next to that, this light plan shall be updated every 5 years, or even the shorter period. For example, when the total lamps electric power increase for more than 15%, or less than more than 30% of the lamps are replaced. Light pollution of the monitoring is not prescribed, neither in decree, neither in the light plan. But the residence windows illumination measurements are taken only on the inspections request. So, like pollution monitoring, it's quite a demanding approach. So it's not the must. Next one, please. Ministry of the Environment put some efforts on the surveillance in the year 2009 and 2 years ago. Asked all the municipalities to send their light plans to the ministry, and then we collect the data, and there are some results of those data. In 2009, the annual average electric consumptions for lighting of roads and public areas was 57 kilowatts per municipality residents. That was reduced 9 years later on 42.9, and that is below the target value. So we can say the decree has some positive effects, and the total annual energy consumptions in 2009 was more than 59 megawatts hours, and more than 63 megawatts hours in 2018. But anyhow, there are some municipalities that exceed annual electric consumptions, 44.5 kilowatts per municipality residents. In 2009, there were 44, and in 2018, 6 municipalities exceeding this target value. Now, the next data is quite interesting. In 2009, it is a bit more than 100,018 lamps. In 2008, it was about 220,000 lamps. Their total electric power was in 2009 19 megawatts, in 2018 22 megawatts. So if we are comparing these 2 years, those values, we can see that the average electric power of the lamp was increased for 1/4 from 2009 to 2018, from 163 to 102 watts. Next, please. Anyway, even the unsuitable lamps that with flux above the horizontal level shall be adopted in 2016, or even less, or even before. There are still some lamps that are unsuitable and they are still in operation. In 2009, there were 85,000 of those lamps. 9 years later, this number reduced for 50,000, and it is about 43,000 of in-situ labs 2 years ago still in operation in Slovenia. There are 77 municipalities operate those lamps. 9 years later, 75. So we can see that there are some progress, but probably not enough as we expected. Maybe some more informational data. We can see that especially the definition of roads in public area increased quite a large amount from 2009 to 2018, and also for the facet of surfaces and cultural monuments increased. Next, please. There are some informations, some data that were not foreseen in the light plans, but ago we asked municipalities to give us some data, and there are some results that some 70 municipalities on their hand starts to reduce the lamp's power or switching off part of their illuminations at late night hours. They reported those late night hours were usually from about the midnight till 5 o'clock in the morning. So they are ahead. Those 70 municipalities are partly ahead of the legislation. Only 2 of them using the motion sensors that turn on the lamps. These motion sensors are usually used on the pedestrian areas when crossing the main roads. So that means the illumination is off. When the pedestrian came, the lamp sensors turn off the lamp. These days, the technical progress starts to put some more LED lamps, and 126 municipalities already use LED lamps in their illumination. The number in these municipalities is 23% of lamps are LED lamps, and the nominal electric powers 23% is from the LED lamps in these municipalities. Anyway, I must point out all the data presented here are for informational purpose only. They were not detailed, they were not up to date, and they were taken from the light plans that were sent to the Ministry of the Environment in 2009, and the number of municipalities then sent those data plans to the ministry presents about 50% of Slovenian population, and in 2018, 75% of Slovenian population. And next to that, the very small municipalities are not obliged to have a light plan. Annual cost of illumination is kind of interesting information. It was not foreseen in the lighting plan. It was not asked to put those data in the lighting plan. But anyway, some municipalities put the annual cost of illumination plan as a very interesting information in their light plan. And there are some graph presents how much money do they spend per resident. So we can see that those municipalities that are within target value of the consumptions, 44.5 kilowatts per resident, they pay usually less money than those that are above this target value. Of course, there are some deviations. Probably the one with more than 14 euros per resident use still the old lamps that are not energy efficient, while the one with about 50 kilowatts per residence and quite a low annual cost probably use more LED lamps, but plenty of them, so they save money and also they pollute environment. Next, please. Now, new decree is under preparations, and there are some issues to be addressed with the new decree. New development and technology of the lamps, they reduce electric power consumptions like LED and all the other type of new lamps. Therefore, the target value is obsolete. 45.5 kilowatts per municipal residence is obsolete and shall be updated. And also, due to new developments and technologies, the lower nominal electric power enables increased illuminations. This is certainly not something we, the Minister of the Environment, wish to encourage. So we probably need to replace the power limit value, watts per square meter, with the illumination limit value. We should also discuss the new decree probably about the colors temperature. Now, shall we limit it or not? Which, how many kelvins is under negotiations, but probably we'll put some new limitations so that maybe what is the new, and maybe the most important is the late night reduction lamp electric power or switching off on the area with low traffic frequency. I think that it's not problematic so much if you during the winter time, if you the illuminations is quite high at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening and it's already darkness, or maybe at 10 o'clock during the summertime when it's already darkness. The problem is that the excess illuminations in the cities, especially outside the cities in the natural area, is also in the late night hours, maybe at 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock a.m. And this is waste of money and quite a heavy pollution on the environment. And another thing, residence units illumination measurements. The old decree have some accreditation requirements, and this shall be simplified for authorized bodies to obtain measurement authorizations, because these days these requirements are quite heavy, and we don't have any authorized bodies to obtain measurement. So this is kind of the problems we could not foresee a few years ago. Next one. So the prevention of light pollution shall be self-evident. That means the municipalities, the populations, the operators shall not take care about decree about their limitations, but they should be in their consciousness that if you don't need the lights, don't put it on, don't use it, and turn it off. This is kind of self-evident, means that each one of us turn off the lights, let's say on a toilet back home when we are going to sleep. If at 2 o'clock we are going on toilet, we turn off the lights and then we turn it off again. Some of that approach shall be in the streets, especially outside the cities as well. If you don't need it, don't use it. Users friendly shall be. That means it's only it should be simplified, low budget. That means if you don't need it, you pay less energy consumptions, etc. So this is the main problems: when and where to switch off the light. If you have any suggestions, they are welcome. Thank you.